Thinking about you today.
Hello, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Um, but yes, I know y'all from being on my email list. So if you engage with me on my email list or you engage with me in the group, we like friends in my head. I hope y'all know that. So Sherry, she engage and ask questions and talk and stuff. I think that's you, Sherry.
Yeah, I've joined one time on here a few months
Your
ago.
last name start with an S too?
Yeah, Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I came on here once, but I saw what you were talking about tonight, so I said I'll pop in for a minute. I'll
Yes.
probably be a little bit quiet because I'm tired just getting off work, but I just wanted to listen to the
No
lecture.
need to talk. I talk enough for everybody. So I'll do a recap. Okay, so I have it recording. So far this week, we talked about getting your mind right. That was the first day. Hopefully, y'all been getting y'all mind together, getting y'all mind right so that y'all can go out here and get these clients. Right. And then yesterday we talked about your pricing and your packaging and how you can come up with your services and all of that good stuff. So hopefully you took some time to do that. So we got our mind right, which is extremely important. We got our pricing and our packaging. Now it's time to go out and get those clients. I said this earlier in the week, but it doesn't take a lot to launch a business, especially not in the beginning. We spend so much time preparing that it kind of take all the fun out of it. And by the time you're actually ready to launch, you don't want to do it no more because you took all this time in the background, on the back side of it, trying to get it together. So we going step one, two, three. We done. By Friday, we should be getting clients, right? It does not take a long time to move this thing forward. So that's what we've talked about. And today we are talking about opening your mouth. That's as simple as I can say it because that's where we get stuck. We have all the plans, we have all the ideas, we have the packages, we have the pricing, we think we got our mind right. And when it comes time to open up that mouth, listen, right? So that's what we're talking about today. And everything that we're doing is building on the other thing. This is all a building process, but it all connects and goes together. There's not one thing that I'll talk about this week that doesn't connect to something else. It all comes together. So let me get my presentation up here. Hi, Karen. Welcome back. She been here this week. Um, but yeah, so everything is just going off to the next thing. I was working on this thing on my phone. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna share my screen with y'all. Hold on. What just happened? Oh my God. Hold on. The presentation just went away. There we go. Okay. So here we go. Let's get into this. And we're going to share. No, we're gonna present. And so I have notes over here. So if y'all see me looking back and forth, that's what I'm doing. So today we're talking about visibility. How many people don't feel comfortable about being visible? Like you wish that, you know, you could sell or you can have clients without people really knowing who you are. Because that's you, Tiffany. Yes. And that's how a lot of us are, especially like in the beginning, but it's a must, especially today in the world of AI, people not having it. And scamming is at an all time high. They need to see your face and hear your voice in order for them to really take you seriously, do business with you, give you their money, right? And so hopefully the things that I talk about today will make it a little bit easier for you to become visible. Because I think when people think about visibility, one of the first things that come to their mind is social media. And that does not have to be your only avenue to get clients. It's probably, unless you like going viral and you doing videos all the time and all of this and that, and that's probably going to be the least likely where you're going to get your clients. It's going to get people to know who you are. But as far as people like, I want to hire you, social media is probably not going to be that. I'm not going to say that it's not, but I will say social media is good for your business so that it builds credibility, right? If you don't have a digital presence online, you don't have a business page, or you don't have anything, people oftentimes, if they can't find you online, that's when they start to be like, oh, is this person really real? So I always recommend that people do have social media pages with some activity, even if it's just one post a week, so that when people go to look for you, they can find you, they can find your business, right? So let's talk about marketing and selling. Okay. So there is a difference in marketing and selling when you're working in your business, right? Marketing is saying, hey, I'm here. Selling is saying, hey, I'm here. I have this thing. This is how much this thing costs, and I am going to sell it to you. Do you want it? Right? A lot of people are not getting clients in their virtual assistants business because they are marketing and not selling, because we think, because we put a post up on social media, because we do one video, because we do something like that, oh, we out here selling, and I get it, right? But selling doesn't come in until you actually have someone who is interested in your service, and you have a DM conversation, an email conversation, a phone conversation, something where you say to them, this is what I have to offer. This is how much it costs. Do you want it? There's a difference. So don't mistake letting people know, hey, I'm here for selling, right? And you want to market your business because that's how you get the prospects, that's how you get the people to know who you are. But it doesn't end there. You actually have to make a sale. And a lot of people say, well, this is not working for me. I'm not getting clients, because you've been marketing for 5 years and you ain't never sold nothing. You have to sell when you're in the business. So you have to get people interested. So you have to market, and then you have to go in for the sale and actually ask people for their money, right? So I wanted to make that clear so that when you start to market your business, that you don't forget to sell, right? And this is just a quote. If you guys notice, I have a lot of affirmations throughout these presentations, because when you say these things to yourself, they start to become real to you. Maybe not on the first day, or, the first time you say them, but you have to, begin to say these things to yourself, so that you can begin to believe them, right? When I opened my mouth, opportunity showed up. Okay. So when you are saying what it is that you have people who are going to come in, bring those opportunities to you, and you're going to be able to sell to them, right? So this is the fun part. And I'm going to let y'all in my business with this. So, what do you do? How many people, you don't have to talk, but if you want to raise your hand or put it in the comments, how many people can clearly, we've been talking a lot about clarity, clearly state what it is that they do?
By one of the officers.
Or if you're in the beginning stage, just say that. Say, I'm in the beginning. But can you clearly state what it is that you do in your business, or what it is that you do as a virtual assistant, right? So I'm going to give you guys some examples about how I talk about what it is that I do. I have 3 different examples that I'm going to share with you all. And I'm going to pause the share for a minute so that I can get it up.
Who they believe to be the suspect outside of the house.
Yeah.
They don't know if there's a second shooter still inside.
Hi, it's Zell. How are you? Welcome back.
These officers and the neighbors with the water.
And then here we go. Get this up for y'all. Okay. Okay. So if someone said to me, describe what it is that you do in 3 words. Because one of the goals that you want to get to in explaining what it is that you do is to be able to do it in as few words as possible. And really what you want to do is you want to get people intrigued about what it is that you do so that they can ask more questions, right? Because a lot of the times when people say, well, what do you do? I'm a virtual assistant. I help people with their emails. When people send them emails, I check them and then I respond. And by the time you get to saying all that stuff, baby, they done checked out. They like, okay, right? And so I do this. I'm gonna share 3 ways with y'all. So if I had to explain my business in 3 words, it would be systems, success, and strategy, right? And so it's not going to appeal to everyone. But if someone is having a systems problem, they're having a success problem, maybe their business is not going the way that they want, or they're having a strategy problem, that's going to pique their interest. That's what I do in 3 words, right? So let's say I'm having a conversation with someone and they want to know a little bit more. 3 words is not enough. We talking, we cool, we vibing. And they say, well, what is it that you do? I also get on a lot of networking calls. And when I get on those calls, you get a chance to do like an introduction of your business. And this is what I use these for. So I say, my name is Shaquana Hughes. I help women build successful businesses without sacrificing their sanity. That sentence right there, I always get them. Because a lot of people be sacrificing their sanity for their business. So it's like, I want to know what else you're doing, right? And if you notice, I'm not just saying I'm a virtual assistant or I'm not, like you got to get into the meat and potatoes of what you do, right? So let's say I want to go even further and I want to explain a little bit more. I have a little bit more time in my introduction. So I didn't already hook them. So I'm going to go even further with it. I help women build successful businesses without sacrificing their sanity. I specialize in strategy, systems, and software. I work with CEOs and CROs and their sales teams to grow their pipeline without having to do all the work themselves. So I just went into what it is that who I work with. I work with CEOs, I work with CROs, I work with sales teams to fill their pipeline, right? And so we talked about transition. I talked about transition with somebody. So that is a transition point that I have with my clients, right? They're having a pipeline issue. So by me coming in, setting up systems and strategy, that transform their pipeline because now they have more deals in the pipeline. Now, this may sound foreign to all of y'all, but my clients, they know what I'm talking about, right? If they having a pipeline issue and I start talking about systems and strategy and all that kind of stuff, they know exactly what I'm talking about and they know that I know what I'm talking about. They know that, oh, okay, she know what she's talking about. That's less than a minute pitch is what, you would call that or whatever. But yeah, that's less than a minute pitch. So when you're doing your pitch, your elevator pitch is what people call it. You want to be specific in what it is that you do. You want to add key words to what it is that you do. There are a lot of virtual assistants in the world, a lot of people that do virtual assisting. So you don't just want to say that you're a virtual assistant. You want to hit on those key pain points that your client may be experiencing, right? If they sacrificing their sanity, and that's like a bonus tip, because a lot of the times we talk about business when we're marketing, when we're selling. And I kind of touched on this when I talked about telling your story, but there are things that people are experiencing personally that you can kind of touch on. When I talk about that sanity, that's something personal to that person. That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with their business. And it doesn't have to be anything like that. That's just kind of like a word that would trigger someone. Like, yeah, I have been, it's a lot of entrepreneurs that are depressed, these days due to their businesses not doing well, or their business is doing well and they're struggling with overwhelm, and not able to do anything. Oh, when they're in their business. So that's like something that will trigger them to say, oh, I probably need to talk to her, whatever. And then I go on to talk about the systems and who I work with and stuff like that. So you want to include that in your pitch and what it is that you do. So here is somewhat of an example of what I just talked about. So you would say, I help whomever you help with whatever you help them with, and so they can blank, so that they can fill their pipeline, so that they can get more work done, so that they don't miss any emails, so that their social media is consistent, so that whatever that transformation point is that you're going to provide for them, that's what you want to include in that statement. Not just necessarily what you do, but what is the benefit to the client. Let me see if I can copy this and put it in the chat real quick. Does anyone have any questions thus far? Is this making sense, y'all? I think it's pretty good. So I'm going to put this in the chat and you guys can copy it, and make it whatever it is. Again, like I said, we're going to use our resources all the time. If you need some help with ChatGPT, I highly recommend it. With that. And so I gave you all my examples, but I wanted to share something else. I help busy entrepreneurs manage their email and schedule so that they can focus on growing their business. So you help them, you let them know who you help with. I would get specific on who I work with, not just busy entrepreneurs, because you want your clients to know that you want them and not just anybody all over the world. Again, we talked about that earlier in the week too. When you're talking to everybody, you're talking to no one, right? And so this is the outcome for them. So this is a big one. So I wanted to talk about the different ways that you can market your business, right? And if you see, social media is down on the list, right? And so when you think about marketing, or, starting to let people know what it is that you do, I always say begin with your network, even your social media network. There are people on your social media platform that you may not know what they have going on. Even if you don't have any business owners in your network, which I'm sure we all do, they may know someone. And people always want to feel helpful, especially when someone is starting something new, they're excited. It's a good a boost for you when you are able, but this goes along with being able to communicate and open your mouth, having clarity in that, what we talked about earlier in the week. By this point, you should be able to clearly state what it is that you're doing, how much it costs, what you offer. right? And so when you're able to do that and you're communicating that, I say start with your network. Even if you start with your network to kind of build that confidence up, and you can't particularly talk to strangers just yet, out in the world, which I like talking to strangers because it's like, you don't know me. So if I mess up, if I say the wrong thing, it's like I never have to see you again. But definitely start with your network. You never know who's in your network. One of the mentees that I work with in Anu talked to someone. She was just telling someone what she was doing, what she was thinking about doing, and they hired her. And she hadn't thought anything of it, and that's how she got her first client. Shout out to Kendra. Optimization. So I talked about having social media platforms, and you don't want to spend all of your time on social media. You don't have to make social media your life, but you do want to have a presence on social media. And with that presence, you want to be optimized in your social media. So on your personal social media and your business social media. It's good to have a business Facebook page and a business Instagram page and things like that, because there are certain things once your business grows and you're in a position to scale, which like I said before, grow. You can run ads. There are different things that you can do with a business page that you can't do with your personal page. So I recommend that. But even if you just keep your personal page and you don't get a business page right away, optimize your personal page, meaning, if you have a website or if you have a form that you're sending people to, um, you know, make sure that is up to date in your bio. Make sure you have a bio that clearly states who you are. You can even put your I help statement in there. So you want to make sure that you are optimized. And when you do that, that makes things easier for you. Someone just may stumble, someone in your network or someone that just stumbles on your page, they could say, oh wow, she does this. I may need her help. So that's free marketing. You don't even have to say anything with that when your pages are optimized, and even when you decide, to build a website or something like that, you want to make sure that's optimized and that people can find you in other ways. Like I said, having that presence on social media, if someone comes to your website and they want to know more about you, and it's like, go to Instagram or go to Facebook, they can click right there on your website. They don't have to search and find, because one thing that you'll realize in business is making it easy for people makes you money. So if you make it easy and your things are optimized and you have everything easy for them to click or get to, that's how people lose out on business. I know when I first started, I wasn't optimized and people probably wanted to work with me and it was too hard to find my information and all that. And they went away. They went to the next person or, said, forget it. So you want to make it easy for people to be able to work with you. So make sure that your things are optimized, and that is a way that you can market your business, and it makes it easier for you to market your business, right? Email marketing, I should have had this as number one. No, because you gotta have a network first before you can build email marketing. If I started my business today, like scratch, first time getting out there, this is what I would focus on. And the first thing that I would focus on when it comes to email is showing my authority through some type of advertisement or form or something that people can come to. I saw something that I wanted to share with you all, but it was like a form. It was like a lead magnet. I'm not sure if you all know what a lead magnet is,
Good
but a lead
morning.
magnet. Hey, Mahogany, how are you, girl? Um, but a lead magnet is something that leads people to you. So a lot of you found me from my lead magnet, which was my masterclass. That was my lead magnet. And so that got you interested in me. And then here you are today. Now we like best friends and everything, right? Boom. So you want to lead your client somewhere. And I saw something that said, I even have something that I'm gonna show y'all. This was my lead magnet when I first started out. Oh, this is cute. So while I'm getting this together, y'all have any questions or anything like that? Let me get this for y'all. This is exciting. Hold on. Keep coming. So this was my lead magnet, and I don't even push this the way that I should. I have other lead magnets now, so I have like webinars and stuff that I do, trainings.
Hey, give
But
no, give it to me. I'm watching the ball game. No, leave me alone.
hi, Karen, you was on mute. I mean, you came off mute. Hi, baby, whoever you are over there, wearing Karen out. Okay, so this was my lead magnet. It was called. No. Don't worry about this. Scratch that from the record. This for y'all. This wasn't for the people I was working with. Hold on, let me get the real thing up here. Not that I showed y'all, but yeah, this is one of my lead magnets too for virtual assistants. But I have another one that showed business owners how to hire or what they needed to do to hire a virtual assistant. Hold on, let me get that up. It should be in Canva. Let me stop this, pause the recording too. But y'all have any questions or anything about what we've been talking about so far? I hope this is helpful to y'all and good for y'all. Okay, let's see my content. Hmm. Let me see what somebody's saying. Funnels the same as lead magnets. No. Oh, this is a good question. Okay, you hip, Renee. You real hip. You know what you talking about. Talking about a funnel. That's big business. Okay, so a funnel is the steps that people take to get where you want them to go. For instance, and I'm gonna stop sharing. For instance, I have you all in a funnel. So you got to the master class, then you start getting my emails, then you buy my course, you come to my events. That's a funnel. It's like step one, they start here, then step two, then step three. A lead magnet is just the thing that gets them there. The lead magnet is the master class. Hey, how are you? Welcome back. But the lead magnet is just the thing that gets them there. So for you all, you came in through my master class. That's the lead magnet. The funnel is the steps that they take to get to where you want them to go. Right? So that's the difference between a lead magnet and a funnel. That's a good question. But yes, that was my hiring a virtual assistant. And like this, it says how to make your virtual assistant a trusted partner. And so people can opt into this. And what this does is it shows me as the authority because I'm teaching them how to hire a virtual assistant. So I must know what I'm talking about, right? It gives them value. So it's something that they can use, whether they work with me or not. And it gives them a lot of good information, right? This is Canva, y'all. Canva is your best friend. If you don't have a Canva account, get you one quick, fast, and in a hurry. Um, so here, this is where we were in this presentation. So that's a lead magnet. I would get a lead magnet, something, anything that is going to attract people to me. And then I will start building a relationship with them through email and things like this. And, having a phone conversation. Do you have any questions? When I first started back out being a virtual assistant, I offered a trial um virtual assistant. It was for 3 hours. You can get one project, 3 hours, no more than 3 hours. I can't remember all the stipulations, but that was a lead magnet and they had to pay $300. And people took me up on that offer because I told them how to use it and all that stuff. Like, do you have a project that you need to get done that you haven't been able to get done? Here's, something that you can do. So they didn't have to hire me outright. It was a way for me to generate revenue. It was a way for me to showcase, what I could do, how I work with people, if I was reliable, that kind of thing. But I would have some kind of lead magnet that drew people into me. And then I would start to build a relationship with them through that lead magnet because it builds trust, it builds credibility, it builds relationship, like all of that kind of thing. And you can make it a lot easier on yourself than you having to just go out and say, hire me, hire me, hire me, hire me, right? It's so much easier. Okay. So then, like I said, social media is a thing. I didn't want to make it the thing, but it is a way to market your business. Now, when I first started out, it was much easier because everybody wasn't hip to marketing on social media yet. People were still using it as a way to connect with friends and, all that stuff. They weren't advertising, baby, but I've been advertising on social media since before it was like a big thing. Any business that I had, I was always advertising on social media. So social media is a way for you to market your business. Remember, we talked about that, the difference between market and selling. You're going to sell on social media. You're going to put your services and, all of those things up on social media, but you want to think of social media as a way to attract clients, not a way to get clients. There's a difference. Like I mentioned before, a lot of people think that their business is failing because they are attracting clients on social media and not getting any clients on social media. This is how you get clients for real, by building that credibility, by building that trust, by offering value and all of that good stuff. Lots of ways to do that, right? Social media is a way to market. It's a way for people to see that you exist. It's the way for people to see what you have to offer. But you're not necessarily selling on social media. You're not really selling until someone says, I want what you have. How much is it? Then that's when you go into the selling of it. So don't think that your business is failing or it's not doing well because you're marketing on social media, you're not selling, right? But when it comes to marketing on social media, the best thing that you can do is have a strategy, right? And I'll let you guys in on my strategy. My strategy for social media is to entertain, to give people a glimpse into who I am as a person, so my life, and to educate. So those are the only three things. I do dance sometimes. It's just because I like to dance. But I was going to say, I don't be twerking or dancing, but I do. I don't want to lie to y'all. Um, but that's just for fun. But when it comes to business, you're going to get some education from me. You're going to get to know me a little bit, and I'm going to give you a glimpse into who I am as a person. So when I'm getting ready to post something on social media, it have to fit into them three categories. If it don't fit, it's out there, right? When it comes to marketing my business. But I also don't think when I'm marketing on social media that I'm finna start getting all these clients. I was that person before. Like I said, I was marketing, putting my stuff up on social media. I'm like, I'm about to get all the clients. And when it didn't happen, I'm like, damn, what's going on? Am I not good? You know, and so definitely use social media as a vehicle, but don't make it your business. Don't spend all of your time. And when you're just starting out, unless, like I said, you're trying to go viral and you're trying to build this big following, all of that stuff, I would not spend a lot of time on it. You just want to have a presence there so people can come there and find you. There are other ways to build your business. There are other ways to get clients. I did not put networking on here, but networking should have been the next thing. So there are always events in your city, on Facebook. When you know your client, when you know who you want to work with and who your client is, it's groups for everything. So if you want to work with cooks or with restaurant owners, I'm sure there is a restaurant owner group, right? Sometimes they might let you in, sometimes they may not, but that is where your clients are. So that's another way to utilize social media. But in that, you can network with people. I wouldn't go in there just saying, hey, I'm a virtual assistant, hire me. I will go in there, network, begin to build relationship and stuff like that. But you always have events, business events, chamber of commerce, different things going on in your city where you are. Look them up, look up on Eventbrite, go there. They have now, you don't even have to leave your home because they have lots of virtual networking events. So, hop on an event. I attend at least once a month. Again, their rituals and routine. I know that if it's the third week of the month and I haven't attended a networking event, it's time. You got to find something. Get in there, introduce yourself. And one of the good things about networking is to show up to the same places often. Don't hop around all the time. It's good to put your face in new places, but once you find something that you gel with or that you feel like is your thing, start showing up. Start showing up. I don't recommend like investing a ton of money in different things when you first start out, but I'm definitely gonna pay for something. If it's a networking event and it costs $15 to go or something like that, I'll pay because that's going to get me in the room that I want to be in. So if they have that, going on, you're able to, but there are tons of free events that you can attend also. So definitely network. That's a way to market your business. My first couple of big clients, now I had clients that I had, knew and networked with and they hired me, but like the clients that was paying the thousands of dollars per month, I met them at networking events. I met them at networking events. So definitely look into networking events. But social media is not the only way. And don't feel like your business ain't working if it ain't popping on social media. Right. And then lastly, I put this at the end because this is really hit or miss. But one thing that I did to market my business when I first got started is I would look on job boards and see who was looking to hire a virtual assistant. This is what you call cold marketing, cold emailing, because you don't know them, they don't know you, they don't know nothing about you. And I would send emails to them with like a face sheet, just saying who I was. 90% of the time they're not going to respond, but you never know, especially if you have a very niche or expertise or something that not a lot of people do. They may say, oh, this is just the person that I was looking for. But there are lots of people on LinkedIn looking for virtual assistants, um, on Indeed and all of those things. Maybe spend one day a week or one day a month going through there, seeing if they're looking for virtual assistants. If they are one of the clients that you wanted to work with, drum up and get an email, get with ChatGPT, help ChatGPT write you an email and start sending DMs on LinkedIn. Start it, or even better than that, you can, connect with them on LinkedIn or on Facebook or something like that. And when they post, if it's something relevant to, now don't be acting weird and stuff, but if it's something relevant, comment, so that you all can begin to build their rapport. Um, Business is somewhat of a long game. I would love to say that doing these things, you're just going to have droves of clients immediately. But good sustainable businesses that's around for a long time, like myself, my business has been around for 10 years or 9 years, almost 10 years now. It's a long game, but the sooner you get started, the sooner you can get to the good stuff, right? The more people you tell, the more chances you have to get hired. So one thing that you want to do too is practice your pitch. We talked about that, your I help pitch. and start to network with people and talk to people, tell them what you do, and all of that good stuff. The more you talk about it, I've said this before, you'll build that confidence up, and it's gonna become especially when you start getting paid and you start making money, baby, you're gonna be telling everybody everything. Somebody come over there, fix your furniture, you're gonna be like, yeah, I got it. But they ain't ask you nothing about no virtual assistant business. You just gonna be talking about it, selling it to everybody. So the more you talk about it, the more comfortable and confident you're going to get with talking about your business. So practice on yourself. I practice on my kids all the time. They be so tired of me, but I practice on them because they can't beat me. And definitely, that's another reason why I have the community, a new community. Everybody, most people are in the same place. Everybody is trying to figure it out. And baby, I'll be up in there just yapping and talking. And the people might not even be paying you no attention. So listen, practice, get it out there. So today's action, you're going to write your what I do statement, share in the community, or post on social media. All right. And tell one to two people directly what you do after you have your I do statement. That's your action for today. So boom, y'all. Do that seem hard, y'all? Because I try to put myself in other people's shoes. You know what I'm saying? If you just starting out or you ain't never really did this before, then, you know, do it seem hard to get out there and start talking about your business, tell them what you do, all that stuff. And I mean, it's like a lot of ways to market your business, a lot of different ways. There's so many different avenues, so just try certain things. I know when I first started posting videos and stuff on social media, I would post them and I would never look at that video again. It was probably people commenting. You know how you throw the rock and hide your hand. That's what I would do. I put my video up and I'd be like this. But you'd be embarrassed. So maybe that's something y'all can try. Just put it up there and don't think about it no more. Get you a scheduling app like a Later or something like that. Schedule it out. Don't even pay no attention to it. No more.
I,
Just put it out there.
I've tried some of those things. Like I've been trying to get this business off the ground for some years,
Oh no.
and yeah, I have spoken to people. I have talked to people that I know that are business owners. I even wrote some marketing notes because I'm pretty good at writing, but I have not gotten responses from anything. So I know my marketing is not correct, or maybe I just have not done enough and I got discouraged. So,
Who's your client?
well, I don't have any. Are you asking
No,
who?
no, I'm saying who are you marketing to? Who's your client?
Um, I've done of restaurants, and I was thinking that my ideal clients would be the what do you call them? Oh, handymen. Those type of guys who are busy all the time and they don't have time to, advertise or keep up with things. I think handymen and construction type workers would be my ideal client.
Would you go or have you been going after those people?
No, because I'm not really sure. Marketing is not, I'm strong in a lot of areas, but that is not my strong suit at all.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So you gonna be working with handyman. I love that. There are a lot of, not necessarily huge companies of,
Yeah, the
construction
regular
companies.
everyday people. Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. And so, okay, so boom. So that's who you're working with. Do you know what you're gonna offer them and how you're gonna help them?
Um, I don't know anything other than basic admin as far as getting started because I know I can do a lot of stuff or I can learn a lot of stuff, but in the beginning, I'm just not sure.
All right, y'all. Let's do a little 1-2 up in here. We're about to get on ChatGPT. Okay, so you don't know, what you're gonna offer them, stuff like that. That is definitely where you want to start. And that is where you will see the results that you want to see. By knowing who you're going to be working with and by knowing what you're going to offer them, you'll be able to talk to those people specifically.
Well, I
And
guess
they'll go
question.
ahead.
Well, I guess my next question is how do I figure out what I'm going to offer them? Because I know handyman are busy, they need help, and the way I figured that out is because I've had some handyman come over my house and they didn't even have time to send me the bill. So um, I know that I can help them, but specifically saying, I can help you, but not really knowing what they need help with. I don't know how to market myself in that way.
So let's see here. I am a new virtual assistant who wants to work with handymen. What service can I offer them? Scheduling and calendar management, you can offer booking appointments with the clients, managing and organizing their job schedules. That's a big one. So they're not missing out on opportunities, so they're not late, so they can keep a good reputation with their clients. Send
Mhm.
reminders to the clients for the handyman, let them know, hey, you coming. If they have contractors, one or two contractors, you will probably be in charge of coordinating, who's going to do what, right? Customer service. So if they sending out the text reminders, if someone needs, I wouldn't be answering our phone calls, but that's just me. But
Mhm.
like text us, email us. You would be responsible for doing all of that, providing quotes and estimates, invoicing, handling inquiries. What do they offer? That kind of thing. Follow back up, get reviews because that's extremely important with handymen, making sure they're getting good feedback from their clients and then their marketing and online presence if you wanted to do that. So yesterday, I don't think you were on, but we talked about picking just three or four things that you're going to do for them. And I
Mhm.
will pop this in the chat for you. And that way you can copy it. And there you go. Oh, it's not letting me see. No, let's see. There. It's telling me I got too many words. There we go. So that's some of it. It gives you all of that. So that's definitely what we talked about that earlier this week. Once we have this is half the battle. Knowing who you're working with and what you're going to offer. And these people need help, like you said. So you on the right path.
Yeah, this is good. You got that in Chat GPT?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then me being the person who I am, I would set all this stuff up on automation, baby. Them clients will be getting um email reminders and all kind of
Mhm.
stuff and all that, set it up on autopilot, and that way I ain't even got to do nothing for real. And they gonna be happy and everybody's gonna be happy. Hi, Renee, you got a question? She got a hand up. So Sherry, you done? Did they help you?
Yeah, that helped a lot. That's great. I'm copying it now.
Okay, good. Did you have a question, Renee?
Yes, I did. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm great. I have been watching your video. I didn't see the first two, but this first client challenge you have is literally what I did today, and I just want to let you know that I'm thankful you're talking about the lead magnets because
Mm-hmm.
I was bringing that up at a meeting because I work for realtors and I
Okay.
do their paperwork and things. And they were trying to find out how to do a funnel. That's why I was
Mm-hmm.
asking, is a lead magnet the same as a funnel?
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like the funnel, people want you to pay for that. And I'm trying to help them undercut their costs because realtors, they have to pay for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just trying to find out the difference between like a lead magnet and a funnel. And I think I had it because you even just reiterated that the differences, and I didn't even know, like
Mhm.
when I was talking to the people today. So I have a question about how you say you have your strategy for social media.
Mhm.
Were you saying like your strategy, is it to entertain or educate? Like
Mhm.
I didn't
I'll show
understand
you
like that
guys
part.
my I'm a visual person, so you can't tell me too many things and I'm gonna get it right off the bat.
Right.
Okay, so I'm visual, so I'm gonna show y'all my social media and I tell y'all what I mean. And
Okay. Thank
then
you.
go. Okay. So I'll show you guys my Instagram. And I use a scheduler, so I usually post the same thing across most social media platforms. So here's my Instagram. And I'll show you guys my reels. So I post 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Monday, I usually post and then I always have a reason for the post. So on Mondays, I usually post the recap from the VA, the weekly VA chat that I do. So I do like a clip. So let me see, when was Monday this week? That's my baby. So this is me giving people insight on my life. These are my daughters. So this build relation with people before they even talk to me, get to know me, anything like that. So that's one of my pillars. As Artina, I love it when y'all be having it together. She know what's up. She said these are content pillars. Okay. So this is educational. I am a systems girly. I'm a virtual assistant coach, all that. So it's always something that's going to show that I am an expert in my field. This is what I know how to do. So, who are you working with, Renee?
I work with realtors and mortgage
Realtors.
loan officers. Yeah.
So if it's any current events going on that have to do with realtors, I will be talking about that. Loan rates just went up.
Yes. I've been
Boom.
talking about it. I brought it up at the meeting today because
Mhm.
in where I live at, we have a special function within the whole state that if people come move there, they can actually get their rates lower than 7.25. And I'm trying to capitalize on that by talking to actual realtors, going to the association, the realtor association, and just going to the meetings. I just show up. People don't even know me, and they come, and I have cards ready because I run a holistic care business that helps people in transitional spaces, meaning like they're going from homelessness to getting their housing. And I try to educate them on the process so they can get to home ownership. That's what I do personally, and I want to be able
Ah,
to turn that
okay.
into a business. But I still want to do it in the nonprofit sector, but I want to actually make money at doing it. I do very well helping people.
Okay, so as it relates to social media, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna talk to the people at the meetings, but then you're gonna showcase your expertise here as well. But I want to show you I do be dancing. So y'all see me dancing over here. Don't be judging me or talking about she said she ain't dance because I do. So I'm entertaining the people, but I love dancing, y'all. I take dance classes. But that's my social media. And so I post on those days. I know exactly what I'm going to post on those days. Um and on Fridays I promote my business. So it's going to have something to do with um so like this is about the course that people can buy from me. So it's always a point to it all. That's another thing when it comes to marketing. You got to have a reason to be doing it. I used to just be posting just to be posting. Just like, hey, I'm here. You want to buy a snow cone, whatever. People didn't even know what the hell I was selling. But now I am very intentional about what I do. This is me talking about starting over because a lot of people found me through me talking about my relationships, relationship, and stuff like that. So it works. People watch, they get to know me, all that good stuff. But that takes like some of the pressure off of you too. Like when you always trying to figure out what you're gonna post, what I'm gonna post today. What should I be talking about today? How those pillars, post it and let that be that. I use things like this as content. Anytime I can get in front of I was gonna say a microphone, but a computer and start talking, I'm like, whatever reason, I just slice it up, put it up. I would always take videos if I was at a networking event or, something like that, take a picture with somebody, excuse me, and post it, you know? So utilize those things, make it easy for yourself. Don't overcomplicate it. And have a reason for doing it. Like, what's the end game? Do you want to build relationship? You trying to get your message out there? What do you want the people to do? Make it easy for them. Talk about that too.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I was listening to another virtual assistant person who was trying to get people to buy her class, and
Mhm.
she suggested Fiverr,
Mhm.
and I had been on Fiverr a long time ago when I tried to get started, but I just felt like it was just too much going on Fiverr. With one thing, the prices being low, and then being in competition with so many people. I mean, there's a lot of people on Fiverr. What are your thoughts? Is Fiverr, and there was another one that was like Fiverr, and I can't even remember the name of it. But what
Fiverr and oh, it's just if I personally am not doing Fiverr. Upwork. That's it.
Upwork?
Uh,
Yes, that's yeah.
that ain't my calling. People do make money on there though, but that's
Do
just
they?
not my calling. I
Okay.
mean, like with anything, like whatever you're going to do, like with something like that, it's not something where you can just go do it and dip out.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
be committed,
Mm-hmm.
dedicated to that thing. But when people go to Fiverr, they're going there for a discount. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about that life.
Mm-hmm.
you know. Let me see, what's another one that I did try that's not, maybe it was Upwork. I don't think Upwork is as they looking for a discount I
Mm-hmm.
think you were able to put your stuff up there with how much you charge. And oh yeah, and then Tiffany said they take a percentage.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that ain't never been my thing. I'm gonna have to get it how I live out here. Um, but yeah, it's just other ways. It's other
Okay.
ways to do it, and it's other ways to make money. I
Mm-hmm.
think you have a great niche. I think you have a great way. You just have to figure out how to communicate the services that you offer and get in the room with those people or online with those people. They need your help.
Mm-hmm.
They need your help. And again, those affirmations, they need what I have to offer. I'm good at what I do. I can help them.
So for those type of people, I don't from the ones that I personally have dealt with in my house,
Hmm.
they're very talented, but I can't see them being like maybe at a chamber of commerce meeting, network events, especially because they're just so busy. So in
Hmm.
order
They
to reach those type of people, what would you suggest?
they probably got a Facebook group, Handyman of America, something,
Mm,
something like that. They
mm,
out there. There are places where they congregate because they need somewhere to go where they can bounce things off of each other. I
mm-hmm,
had a client, she needed her drain fixed, and it was a drain, it was purple, it wasn't blue. What y'all think?
mm-hmm.
You know, in some places they don't allow just regular people into, but you'll find them. You'll find them. I don't think ChatGPT gonna ask her.
Okay.
My ChatGPT name is ChatGPT. So go ask Tisha where them people be at and where I can find them. She gonna tell you exactly
Okay.
where they gonna be at, how you can find them, how you can get your message out there, what message you can even tell. But yes, definitely utilize that resource. They are out there and there are places. And let me tell you something, honey, because everybody that come on here, what talking about what they should offer. Let me see. Candy man, 216. Um, oh, here, check this out, girl.
Mhm.
Check this out. The handyman helper. I'm finna put this in the chat.
Okay.
She done did some of the work for you already. But if it's something that you want to do,
Hmm.
see if somebody already doing it. Don't try to recreate the wheel.
Mm.
Handyman helper is out there.
Okay.
Okay, and then Martina said something. You struggle with figuring out what do you like to do?
What do you mean?
What I'm talking to
Oh, so,
Martina. Like, what do you like? Okay, I need to be realistic here. So you do want to find people who can pay you. Let's talk about that, first of all. But you can often find like the answers be right there within us, right? Like I was saying yesterday, like people told me I could be a life coach. And look at me, I just be life coaching almost every day. But in a different way, but it's always there. So if there's some told me what you was gonna be doing recently. Um, but we be really wanting to like get to the money. And so it's like, what can I do where I'm gonna make some money? And so it kind of cloud our judgment and we can't really think good, right? But when you really sit down and you think about what lights me up, what people I like to work with, what do I have experience in? I talked to somebody and she was saying her daughter had special needs. And she was involved in a lot of, therapies and things like that. I was like, well, do you think those type of people need help? You're passionate about that. You have a personal kind of story with that. And she was like, yeah. I was like, well, I would at least explore it, right? So it really be kind of like right there in our face and we don't be paying it no attention half the time. But yeah, and I mean, like, business is trial and error. You gonna try something out? Like, I've been coaching virtual assistants for 5 years. I just found my people 5 years later. It's trial and error. So if you think that something that you want to do or something that you want to go in, we can, flush it out and, try to figure it out. But if you think, try it out, see how it'll work. But don't hop from thing to thing to thing before you can see if it works. Be like, nah, this ain't working. You've been doing it for 2 days. You've been doing it for a week. You're like, nah, this don't work for me. Try it out for a little while longer, you know. But yeah, business is kind of a long game. You can have success, you can have instant success, but it's we just gotta get out there. But there are a lot of things working in our favor like our girl Tisha. She is helping us out. So I found the one thing. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a lot of resources out there for us today. We don't have to do it alone. It's a lot of things out there that will help us and that's there for us. So we gotta tap into that stuff too. But and y'all got me. So I'm your ace in the hole. But yeah. So tomorrow, what we talking about tomorrow? Let me see, what we talking about tomorrow? We are talking about how to position yourself as the expert, right? Because at this point, we are getting to the clients. These are the things that's gonna get you in there, get you out there. So I have some good examples tomorrow. 'Cause I'm good at setting myself up as an expert. So I have some good examples on that tomorrow. So I hope that this was helpful to you all. I hope that it was beneficial to you all. And thank you for asking questions and that kind of thing. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. For the people who keep coming back. So thank y'all. And that's my time.
Thank
I'll holler
you.
at
Appreciate
y'all.
it.
No problem. Bye bye,
Thank
y'all.
you.
All right. Bye bye.